I'm here with the man himself, NBK, current captain of GenOne, but obviously French Counter-Strike legend. Thank you very much for giving us a couple minutes out of your time. Commiserations on your result. You just lost in a pretty tight fashion to Passion UA and unfortunately got eliminated out of DraculaN. But it was a really close game. Felt like you guys had a lot of opportunities. So yeah, please try and tell me a little bit about what's going through your mind right now.
Frustration mainly because especially on Ancient, we know that we just won that game straight up when you start the side and you go 9-3 on T side and you're in full control, and then you go on CT and you start, being very chaotic in freeze time, and it's just like a lot of inexperience from the team, right? We just practiced for 10 days, 2 weeks together, playing on 6 different maps, trying to win best of threes and that kind of stuff, not being, super focused. It's just a lot of things come down in those moments with like individual responsibilities and, calmness and experience. And we just lacked a little bit of that in the end. That ancient was one, like especially the 3v1 in overtime, obviously, but even in regulation on the city side, we should have closed it. And then, there are just maps that we barely practice. Like, for example, Inferno, we played like once on it. And so we just completely YOLO'd it and it worked out. So, we need to just kind of find that balance a bit more. But, before the tournament, if you tell us that you come here and we win like, I don't know, 3 best of threes, I think, play tight against like top 30 teams and stuff, with the players that we have, with the experience that we have together, and our practice time, we would take it any other week. So we're just gonna chill a bit, and we're gonna be satisfied with it.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that project and how it all came together? Because obviously there is a couple really well-known names on the team. Yourself, you have Wasink, who used to be the coach for 3D Max, Joko, who was with him, and Misuto on the team. So how did you gather up that group of players?
To be fair, it's mostly with Wasing, our coach. So he was the coach of 3D Max, and he kind of put the project together. I was not necessarily trying to make something work, I was just like playing deathmatch and face it and that kind of stuff. And he just wrote me, and then we started putting things together, talking about players, what we can do, how we want to approach the game, and we started clicking pretty well. And from that point on, we just talked about the players. We asked everybody was down for it. And then we also have the opportunity with GenOne and Carol behind to have a small contract in order to, go to LAN, such as this one. I think on the second day of practice, we got told, hey, by the way, you're going to LAN in 10 days. And so it was like, oh, okay, surprise, but very cool, because that's the kind of thing we want to do, and especially to get the VRS ranking and stuff. So that's kind of how it went together. Everybody got contacted through our coach, and got together, and things have been clicking pretty well. A lot of work. Everybody wants to work, which is primordial. And then it's just about translating that more and more, and just creating those habits. I mean, we're playing teams that are together for months and months and some years, and so we just have to get a bit of that sharpness a bit more. But we're gonna build up on that. We're working a lot, and I have no doubt that we're gonna go much further.
Can you throw us a little bit more light on some of the younger guys on this team? Because obviously there's Brooksy, there's Chucky, and they're not that well known to the broader scene. They're more talented players coming out of the French and the Belgium scene. And playing with those youngsters, does it help your motivation to some extent as well?
To a degree, yeah, especially in the fact that they are very interested and curious about Counter-Strike. So like when we started, I tried to put on a game and game plans that are more slowly paced, controlling the game and holding gambles, and then having movement on city side, and so where everybody needs to be proactive and talking a lot and utility and doing plays. And so it's something that we're not necessarily used to in past teams. So you have Brooksy that we put in like all the kind of more star player roles, that is very interested about the game, very emotional as well, so like it's very good when you manage to put him in good conditions. He's going to be a fucking monster at the end of the day, and so that's what we want from him, and Joko and me kind of surrounding that. And same with Chucky, there are players that we're trying to guide them, and especially we try to make them autonomous. So we want them to like think about the game and not necessarily give them the solution straight up, but like have them think in a way of Counter-Strike that is more advanced than what they had before, and for us to just have that together in the same direction. So they're extremely talented. If you look at their ratings, I think the past 6 months they're like at 1.15, 1.2, which is very, very big. And it's motivating to like also teach and talk about the stuff, and everybody is really willing to go in the same direction, and they're very big actors for that. So we love Counter-Strike. I think at the end of the day, I think that's a big part, and they do too. And so they're very hungry, and it's a pleasure to be able to share that with them, and then work together to go forward.
Okay, and lastly, I know this is a bit of a trivial question, but what is the thing that keeps you going so much? Because I could see some of the emotion out of you, especially during some of the games, and it doesn't really feel like you care about the scale of the LAN. It doesn't really feel like you care about the circumstances. You're enjoying yourself, and every single time it feels like you're coming back with new projects and looking for more ways to stay involved within the scene. So how do you keep that drive for the game for such a long time?
I know it's the love for the game. I think like, first of all, I've been doing it for 15 years, so like half of my life I've been playing this game and being competitive and that kind of stuff. So that's habit on the first end. But it's just being passionate about the game. Whether it's good or bad. Like on Ancient, for example, I got very frustrated and very emotional. I might have broken my wrist a little bit, my bone and stuff because it's pretty painful. But yeah, it doesn't matter what line it is. What matters is just winning no matter what and having that drive, which can be a double-edged sword at some point. But for me, it's as simple as this. I love this game way too much, and it's all about doing it day in and day out. We put so much work into it. New people, new personalities, and seeing the potential as well, right? Like I see that we can do something very, very good. So I don't know. I'm waking up every day like, how can we be better? And then trying to do that while having fun with it. That is very important. So just the human aspect matters a lot more than just playing the game, right? It's just like doing it together and being a group together, and it feels lonely without that, right? So like just doing that every day and loving it.
Thank you very much.